doesn't make a difference in America. I'm looking at a British newspaper. What is it? GB, whatever they're called. It's all information is out there. You don't have to live in the country to be consuming propaganda. It's on social media. It's everywhere.
I mean, there are competing narratives around the globe, right? There are pro-Russian narratives, there are pro-American ones. You go to Europe, you're going to hear both, right? And, not getting into this conflict with America. It's a very complex situation in Europe economically. There's a lot there. So they also, have sentiments that they feel like America has done them wrong in the last 100 years. And, blaming the U.S. for their failed economic policies, et cetera, et cetera. So.
But what's the specific information that we're trying to figure out regarding Europe? And the question, what is there anything in specific you want clarification on regarding this PSYOP thing and is the world delusional? In some ways, yes, there is a mental infection in the world. And that mental infection involves some sort of guilt towards certain terrorists, like Hezbollah or Hamas or, I don't know, name another one, Al-Qaeda or ISIS. But the world doesn't like terrorists, and that includes Hamas and Hezbollah. So obviously people don't want to risk their lives in order to get rid of them.
But who's the terrorists? Is the question.
Hezbollah and Hamas, I just told you. Al-Qaeda and ISIS.
There are terrorist states as well, right?
No, that is not correct. By definition, that is not. By definition, that is not right.
Well, you started with Europe, and you now
No, are you saying that it is impossible for a terrorist state to exist?
No, I'm saying there's no such thing. That's not the definition of terrorism. If you don't know the definition of terrorism, we can read it to you. It includes the words non-state actors. So that's for number one.
Hold on. So when a state cannot operate and use terrorism, sir?
A state cannot be a terrorist because the definition of terrorism is non-state actor. What's your next question? Unless you want to go in circles a few more times. I mean, I haven't ridden the merry-go-round since I was a little kid, but it sounds like you want to go on one. So what's your next question? And what's the PSYOP?
Yeah, I challenge the definition of terrorism.
Just look it up.
You started with an interesting question, which was MJ expanding on what he saw or heard in Europe.
I agree. And I thank you for directing this, Pete. Your cool head and your focus. So what's the PSYOP? What's the world's delusion? What are we talking about here? Or is this another endless hall of mirrors? MJ, I'll mute up. What did you want to say?
No, I'm just saying that the information across the continent.
What information? That was the question.
Right. The understanding of the genocidal acts being committed by the state of Israel.
Nobody is saying that Israel's committing genocide. That is incorrect.
No, well, okay.
By
Well,
definition.
he's saying that he saw a lot of pro-Palestinian demonstration, support for the Palestinian state, and the Israel sentiment when he
now you
in Europe.
understand the PSYOP. The PSYOP is many allegations of genocide, which is absolutely ridiculous. No one even actually claims that. Now the new claims are that it was a Zionist plot to call it genocide, because not only is there absolutely no possibility of Israel eliminating the Palestinians, they've actually grown. Evidence that Israel has ever targeted civilians, and there's lots of evidence that Israel has been avoiding civilians, hence the 3 years to kill 70,000 people. So this abundance of allegations, which is getting you to say, well, there's stuff, narratives, what's happening in Europe, why are people saying that? That's the PSYOP. Welcome to the PSYOP. You can't give me a shred of evidence that Israel has targeted.
Well, hold on. Don't these European nations have strict guidelines as to to prevent misinformation from being circulated throughout?
I don't know.
Are you saying that? Hold on. Are you saying that given those institutions that are within these nations to prevent misinformation from being disseminated through the media, are you saying that the states are part of the PSYOP? The British state, the French state, and the Italian state, these states are.
I am telling you that this is another distraction because you can't answer the actual question.
No, I'm asking you, you do understand that these nations have institutions that prevent misinformation from being disseminated within their media.
This conversation is all about.
No, it was very important.
No.
Are you aware that these institutions exist?
Okay, MJ, this conversation will go a lot faster if you respond to what's being said as opposed to trying to reframe the conversation in a way that you're used to these conversations going.
I was
Again.
asked when I saw Europe. I'm sorry.
So MJ, listen
I
carefully.
was asked that
Carefully.
question
MJ, listen carefully.
by moderators.
MJ, listen carefully. I'm a moderator, and so is Pete. Listen carefully. You cannot find me a shred of evidence that Israel has attacked a civilian. The fact that there's multiple allegations, the fact that the states that you're claiming would be there to prevent it haven't prevented the false allegations does not get to the heart of the issue. So once again, we're going to swim in these waters of you saying they're allegations, they're in Europe prevents this, don't they? Fact checkers, but you haven't provided a shred of evidence because no one has, because it doesn't exist. So that is the psyop. The fact that you fell for it, I feel bad for you, I'm sorry. But multiple allegations without evidence doesn't make it stronger. That just makes it a bunch of
No, but what I'm asking.
I think the problem is that MJ doesn't know what genocide is.
I'm
Hang on a
asking.
second.
Here, let's just answer
Hang on.
MJ's question. It's an easy question to answer. So, like, do they have stricter rules on what you can publish and not publish in France, for example? Yes. Okay. But does that necessarily mean that they are the arbiter of truth and objectivity in the world? No. And do you know what, for example, okay, how about this? Does the US push propaganda around the world?
Yes.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Radio America, baby!
Of course.
And China. Okay, yes, so we're on the same page there. Do you know what Dubinism is?
Danny
No,
Dubin.
language do.
Yeah, he's the guy who
Okay.
killed his the Ukrainians killed his daughter.
So,
Deservedly so.
Dugin-
Alexander Dugin.
Dubin is kind of like an
Svengali
advisor to Putin, and he pushes a lot of like Eurasianist type of philosophy, very in line with, you know, Putin's foreign policy and Russia's foreign policy about how the natural state of Europe would be to align with Russia, and that a solidified like Iran and China would be great for Russia and the European economy, and Germany could, you know, use its manufacturing, and Russia could use its vast resources. And if it weren't for the big bad America, then, you know, France would be strong, like they're meant to be, right? And so that is very, very attractive to French people, to German people, in a period where they feel kind of castrated by Americans, under the thumb of Americans, etc., while their economy is failing. And so that is why you will see a lot of pro-Russian kind of talking points. Some of it's organic, and some of it is spanned, you know, by Russian influence and money. For example, Candace Owens works with a very populist guy named Xavier Poussard in France. They are full on Duginists. They just had a conference with Putin and Dugin in Russia like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. But a psyop
$10 because he didn't hear a word you said, by the way. We're just going to say the same thing again. $10.
No, I'm gonna. Let's.
We're talking about
operating in good faith
psyop.
here.
What was said was there's a psyop is a planned military political action designed to influence thoughts, emotions, and behavior. If we have institutions within these countries, hold on, I'm asking a question. If we have institutions in these countries that are designed to ensure that the dissemination of misinformation is not done within their borders, wouldn't those institutions have to be
France has a
complicit in the
national
psyop?
interest that isn't directly aligned with American interests, right?
But
And so
that's the question
sometimes-
directly. No, it absolutely
they
not.
just-
An arbitrary
they just-
truth
there's no-
doesn't work. No.
Right. There's no objective truth that you can just push out to your citizens, right? It's always competing narratives and powers talking
Well, there
through
is
France, and
objective
France
truth,
deciding
but it's
how
not
to
objective.
work. Sure. I mean, like philosophically, I agree that there's an objective truth. But in terms of geopolitical narratives and influence campaigns, these are countries fighting each other through information.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. And no, the defenses of a democracy against misinformation and disinformation aren't perfect, and one would have thought that anybody would know that, if that's your question.
But if there was
pretty-
misinformation as it relates to genocidal behaviors and acts on the part of the state of Israel, and they were not being actually done, do you not think that those institutions would intervene?
Well, that's a great question, and this
Well,
goes
I know
back to
for
my
sure
original.
they would,
Nameless, wait a second,
I
nameless,
know
wait
for
a
sure.
second. Nameless, yeah, the answer is no, but nameless, wait a second. I think what you're showing is that you've you've drunk the Kool-Aid without ever asking yourself, what is genocide? And that's the mistake number one. So why don't we talk a little bit about what you think genocide is, and then rather than drinking Kool-Aid, you can make an informed judgment for yourself. Is that
Let's
fair?
do this very straight, which MJ is trying to avoid.
I'm talking
Do this straight,
about,
MJ.
I'm talking about misinformation. I'm talking about if there is a PSYOP and the misinformation is allowed to go through these institutions.
Yeah, you've said that a few times. What about it, though?
That they must be complicit. So
Okay, so
maybe they
must be a
fail.
part of the conspiracy.
Or else they fail, right?
MJ.
Are they a part of the conspiracy?
Maybe they fail.
According to the people who believe in the PSYOP.
Maybe they fail. Does those words mean
All of
anything?
them have failed.
Wait a second.
Multiple
Name it.
institutions have failed
Failed.
in the same
Yes.
way.
No,
Oh.
they fail in a lot of different ways.
Yes, they found something like that's present. MJ,
I'm
this is the first time in your life.
I'm trying to get clarity as to
Right.
the perspective on
Yeah.
how these
You're not trying to
institutions and their ability to prevent their citizenry from being
No,
influenced by
MJ.
misinformation.
okay, great, you said that 15 times. How do you
Yeah.
figure out if the systems work? So let's look at the accuracy of the claim versus what information flowed through. So for the last time, because we particularly do not want to have this conversation directly, you're very not ready to have a direct conversation, you just want to have a bunch of circular
I'm
information around
adjusting the
this claim.
PSYOP
No,
accusations, sir.
MJ, the way to address the PSYOP operation is simple. Has information which is clearly untrue filtered through. And if you are honest about that, the answer is yes, because for the last time I've asked you, if you had a shred of evidence to get genocide, because that was intentionally done to distract us to have a stupid conversation. The real conversation is there any evidence that Israel has gave one military order that said to kill civilians without it being a military objective, well within the rules of war? Like you're gonna hit a target and a small amount of civilians are gonna be collateral damage.
Oh,
One,
are you saying
we don't have one.
the dead children are all
MJ,
mistakes?
listen clearly. We don't have one piece of evidence that says that. Now let's look at the circumstances of evidence. We have a very strong army that was capable of taking out a regime 2,000 miles away, was capable of hitting the Houthis 2,000 kilometers away, but their neighbors, they weren't able to kill 70,000 people. It took 3 years. 3 years. And now that people are being honest, we're finding out that not only is there a one-to-one militant to civilian kill, it looks like there was even less than that, which is unheard of in urban.
I don't think he knows what that means. You better explain it, nameless.
Okay. In urban warfare, when fighters dress up as civilians and hide behind civilians, the chances of accidentally killing civilians is extremely high. If you're trying to kill civilians, it's very easy to kill civilians. You just drop bombs. Civilians are very easy to kill. If you're trying to kill a militant and you don't care about killing civilians, then in typical war you end up being 9 to 10 to 1. So you kill a militant, and if they kill 10 civilians around them, you don't care. To get a 1-to-1 ratio, for every militant you kill, you only kill 1 civilian. That is unheard of. It's turning out that Israel has done even better than that. If you have a powerful military that takes 3 years to kill 70,000 people, Iran did that over a week. It doesn't take that long to kill people if you're trying to kill them. So you don't have a military directive. You don't have circumstantial evidence that proves to you. All you have is a bunch of people screaming genocide, and then you're trying to jump around and say that proves genocide.
But 70,000 includes natural deaths and the militants.
Okay, so it's Clubhouse, it's been years, we've had many, is it genocide or not conversations. I'm afraid we're going to go down that rabbit hole. To MJ's point, I guess where I have a question for him is what institutions in Europe are claiming that it is a genocide?
Well, no.
I'm not saying
No
the
institutions
institutions are not there for that purpose. The institutions, again, are there for preventing misinformation.
He's claiming that the Boston is genocide.
And so if there was a PSYOP, hold on, sir. Hold on, but I'm not finished saying what I'm saying. Why are you saying what I'm saying?
You said it 9
Well, you said it 3
Hold
times.
on.
But I guess, hold on, you guys, I wanna get somewhere. I wanna get somewhere with it, so let him answer.
Yeah, all I'm saying is these nation states have these institutions, and yet and still their media is still providing details of genocidal actions.
Well, they're
taken
not
by the
doing that.
United
That
States.
premise is
They're
incorrect.
Hold
They're
on,
not doing that.
sir. Hold on.
No, don't give me the
Not
hold
done
on, sir.
speaking.
Don't
Okay,
base,
I'm gonna
don't
bounce
base
a few
questions.
times into this.
You don't respect your own.
Don't base questions.
No, okay, so you're saying, yeah.
I mean, stupidity is painful to
Otherwise,
encounter.
we can just say everything is axiomatic
I'm
and the
not
whole
even voicing
conversation
an
at all.
opinion. I'm
Yes.
strictly talking
So,
to
but
the
MJ,
idea of a psyop and if it is real or not.
Okay, so why did I
Yeah.
respond to that, MJ?
so, but
Before
can I
myself, what did
for a
respond?
second?
Go ahead.
One second. So, I mean, the institutions, there's a lot of freedom of the press in European institutions, right? So they can publish things and make statements and opinions and call it a genocide. They have, free speech, maybe less in certain ways than America, maybe more in certain ways when it comes to what you can actually publish. So I don't think that giving opinions based on facts, claiming that it's a genocide is in no way illegal. In France, for example, I don't know about the rest of the country, so while they might have a higher bar or something or evidentiary duty, I'm not a journalist at all. They can still, of course, claim that it is.
And so you're saying that if there was misinformation, these institutions would fail at capturing it and preventing it from being disseminated to their population.
I'm
Well, they have a
saying you could
mixed
string
record.
together facts and you can make a claim based on those facts. And you can claim that it fits the legal standard of genocide. This is just
So you're
discussing.
saying there are
things,
there are objective facts that the medias of these countries are allowing to go through their system, their institution that is supposed to prevent this information, that could logically
There are no
or
institutions
could
to prevent
logically
this
be deemed
information. What
by-
about-
No, your question makes
someone
no sense.
as genocide.
Paige, you're walking down a path of nonsense.
Okay,
Because you
MJ.
said it was a psyop.
We can move on.
It was a psyop in every country.
I'm on the side. The motherfucking room is a side against me, motherfucker.
No, you're the one. who
Allowing
said
for
that.
the information to slip. They
No,
would all have to
it's a level of stupidity
It's a
that's
psyop.
hard to even.
individually, and I find that to be
It's a
amazing.
level of dumb that I can't even fathom what you're asking.
No, give me a minute. First of
Why-
all, what he said very clearly was that there is freedom of press and they have the right to print things.
They have the
even
right to be
when-
wrong.
They have the right to be wrong. But now,
Yep.
how do we assess if these institutions that don't even exist, that
By looking at the facts.
wait,
They don't exist.
MJ,
Nameless, they don't
no,
exist.
these institutions that make sure that you only get pure, actual, true knowledge don't exist. He has repeated that to you multiple times. First of all, in Europe, there's freedom of press. Second of all, they have their agenda. She mentioned Duganism and one way to the end. So I'm going to go straight to the point. Well, I repeated this many times. I want to keep on it. How can we assess if these institutions that you're claiming exist are actually working? What would be the direct way to figure out is misinformation making it through?
You think
You lost him.
what metric would you use? I'm asking
You're
no
just gonna
questions.
keep
What the fuck is
repeating
wrong with you?
Let
Is
him
it normal?
answer.
Are you
You're
okay?
just gonna keep, what the
Take your
fuck is
vitamins,
wrong
brother.
with
If
you?
the convo flows, it's
Go take your vitamins, Grandpa.
What's wrong with me is talking to stupid people. That's the problem. It's my thing.
I talked to
Talking to stupid people is my thing.
It's my thing.
stupid. I think we're getting
Very
somewhere.
nasty.
And then,
Very nasty
You're being
racist
far
on
too
this
generous.
stage. Very nasty racist.
Nobody cares. Nobody
Yes,
cares. That's what
I know, it's racist, I know. Stupidity
Okay,
is racial now.
let him just
Very
answer the
nasty.
question.
Good job
Shut
being good,
Shut up. And
stupidity.
Very
wait,
nasty.
let MJ answer the question. What would be the way to assess if these institutions even exist, let alone if they're working? How can we assess?
$10 says he doesn't understand the question.
Okay,
It's
one
very
more
easy to
insult
assess
alarm
if they
on the bell.
exist.
Well, I
It's
don't know.
very easy to find which institutions in European countries are responsible for preventing the dissemination of misinformation. That is quite easy. So we would have to look at, we would have to think, excuse me, you asked me a question again, and after every 3 words, you interrupt.
We're trying to get you to
The first
answer the
part-
question.
Part of the question, what is
Did
it?
you understand the
Hey,
question?
you guys can talk, I'm going over it. You got,
Okay, it's nice hearing
Talk
from you.
amongst
Did you
yourselves.
understand the question?
I tried, MJ.
there
Okay,
is a crying because this is the behavior of people who have things to hide.
MJ, that wasn't.
No, this is the behavior of people who lose their patience with stupidity. Like, you didn't understand the question. It was very simple. What's the metric for this
I'm gonna go to
pretender?
the audience, I'm just gonna look
It
at.
was nice talking to you.
Okay, so,
There's
There's
a
a
I mean,
strong
that was
sense.
Take care now. Bye
Yeah, there's a
bye.
strong sense that if you just browbeat people, that will make the American people agree with a war that's not in their interest. But it turns out that that's not how this works.
No, actually, what we proved was that if you repeat something over and over and people have no evidence for it, they fall for it. So you keep repeating war of choice, and there was no point
War
in
of
telling
choice.
American people. People fall for it because you and your friends are really, really stupid, and you
War
fall
of
for your
choice.
stupid
Yeah,
tactics.
it's
But
slogan.
had
It's slogan.
MJ been willing to use his rational brain, which probably exists if you would go to it, he would have realized that
Very
the way
nasty
to
people.
assess, that's wonderful, the way to assess if these institutions are working is by seeing if misinformation is getting through. Since I repeated it 15 times and he had absolutely no shred of evidence to prove that there's actually, forget genocide, that's just a dumb point, but that is being fallen away from, that there is even misconduct. And his only evidence of misconduct was assuming that the institutions are working. So that's like walking into a city that's flooding and claiming there's levees, so it can't be flooding. But there's water on the ground. So when he's ready to walk down a rational argument and show me how this information that is completely untrue is disseminating, then he's going to have to admit that there are no institutions that are stopping inaccurate information. Inaccurate information is getting through, and then try to figure out.
We will see if the American people are browbeat into supporting a war that they don't support.
They don't have to support it.
I
They don't have to support it. It's irrelevant.
She's the only one that's intelligent, including the United States.
Yeah, I mean, the conversation was interesting because I think MJ had a strong trust for European institutions, and I understand why there would be kind of that impulse or perception, but I just think that maybe he was not familiar with some of the layers of European kind of geopolitical dynamics as well. Just because they're not in this war doesn't mean that they don't have major national interests in terms of who they support, why they would be less on the side of Israel in a war, and why they have cultural movements that are going more towards Russia. Like, I think we were getting somewhere, but with all to be kind of ruined the.
Well, you were at a level that I don't think you were ready for. I was just trying to say, how do you assess and try to go through straight logic, and this is the way you start a conversation. And the fact that you can repeat a slogan over and over and over and not have to realize that you have never even seen a shred of evidence for it is a good place to start and realize where you're being manipulated.
I want to give you a corollary, okay? Because this Palestinianism is just the new transgenderism, is just the new climate change. So, for example, the institutions of Europe somehow convinced themselves that adopting ridiculous regulations, as with the Paris Climate Accords, would somehow affect global warming or climate change or whatever they're calling it now. There was a mass kind of hysteria, and they were wrong. They were wrong. So there's your answer. And then the institutions of Europe believed that boys could become girls, and girls could become boys, and boys could get pregnant, and you could cut off kids' genitals. They believed that. And then it turned out that they were wrong. So in recent memory, there are many examples of mass delusion, mass disinformation, mass hysteria, the spread of a social hysteria or social mass media, psychological infection, a sociological delusion. There are many, many examples of it. And Palestinianism, which is not a belief that the Palestinians discern. Yes, it's called a neologism.
All words
And it is taken. Well, no, all words are not necessarily made up. Yeah. No, this is called, it's a neologism. So Palestinianism is the advocacy of a state for a people who have demonstrated numerous times that they don't want a state.
Right, but
The
it's the
real
word made up
purpose
by
of Palestine.
the Palestinians.
Hang on just a second, Ralph.
This is getting
Hang on,
crazy.
you're interrupting, Ralph. Don't make
Yeah,
me
this
send you down.
conversation.
So, one of the symptoms of Palestinianism is the desire to destroy the Jewish nation. That is the stated goal both of the Palestinian Authority, which is one tiny governing body in Judea and Samaria, which Jordan called the West Bank, or the complete destruction of the Jewish people and the Jewish nation for the other body governing so-called Palestinians or the Arabs of Gaza. That's what That's what Palestinianism is.
But
So what we're fighting is a form of mass hysteria called Palestinianism.
I think though, if we get a conversation, we're having a conversation about Europe and media dissemination in Europe, institutions in Europe, and we go directly to, this is why Israel is so right here, it muddies the waters into what we're actually talking about, and it gets it away from what is good for America, and then it loses people very quickly, right? And so I think it's just important to like hit the actual points head on versus going directly there.
Yeah,
And especially not getting emotional.
I agree. I'm also super surprised that there are some people today who think that these institutions are capable of keeping pure information or even trying to keep pure information. We have seen from history, going all the way back to the Mayoral problem, the more you try to control the flow of information, the less accurate the information gets. So even though in America we had a bunch of stupidity floating around the ether, because we have such a free press, true information does get through. But the fact that you think that Europe would be pure because of more restrictions, it's just mind-boggling. I didn't think I would still be having this conversation today.
I mean, I think it's seen as an objective in between intellectual place, right? Like they're not really on the stage in the same way anymore, but they are known for their intelligence, and maybe they could provide an objective whatever. But I think without, proximity to the undercurrents of European culture and kind of their national interests, it's without that it's hard to see kind of what's going on under the
Pete, why do you think most Americans are against this?
with Iran or with
You mean according to some polls? Nobody likes war.
Are there polls
Very
where
simple.
most Americans are full?
Nobody likes war. Polls are not accurate. The idea that we're going to,
Pete a question, and Pete respond.
I heard you. The idea that we're going to make military decisions based on polls is ludicrous. It's ludicrous. We don't make military decisions based on polls,
Pete, would you like to
especially based on uninformed people who don't care about these matters. And by the way, we're being led down the primrose path with somebody, we're being led down the primrose path by somebody who's made up of an imaginary. Aren't there institutions in place to make sure that the information is good? It's a nonsensical question. What we should be looking at is facts, not whether some hypothetical that we spend an hour discussing some person's hypothetical who doesn't care about the answer.
So let's look at the facts. Let's look at the
Why don't we
numbers.
let Pete respond? Why don't we let Pete
Sure, we can look at facts.
I think the economy is very uncertain. I think inflation is high. I think access to housing, having a stake in the economy right now, the sentiment for that is that it's not possible. And then we see we see a war that is more abstract, and not many people see it as an immediate threat. And people say, well, why in this moment, in this time, would we add this on to the list of issues that we already have? I also think that there is a lot of PTSD from the Afghanistan and Iraq wars, and people see those as useless wars. And so those sentiments all combined tends to make people lean toward more of a isolationist path. I think there's also kind of distrust in, he's gone, but I'll just finish. Distrust and confusion about whether the United States is an exceptional country or a bad country.
Well, Pete, what people would love to forget is that the abundance that we enjoy in America, the dominance that we enjoy, the cheap fuel that we enjoy, the incredible prosperity that we enjoy, is dependent on the United States being the defender of the rules-based order. The rules-based order includes a freedom of information, the internet, which we defend, not in the clouds, in cables under the water. Freedom of trade, which we defend. This is why we're defending, for example, the waterways. We don't have a particular stake in the Strait of Hormuz, but we're defending it because of the principle of freedom of the waterways. It's also democracy versus totalitarianism. There is not one single democratic Muslim state. We are here to defend democracy. So our Muslim allies are lining up with us because they realize that the United States is their biggest customer, and the United States and Israel are their biggest defenders. And this is why all of the GCC, Khaliji, or Gulf nations have now aligned themselves with Israel and the United States, with the possible exception of Qatar when it comes to Israel, and have recognized the Islamic Revolutionary Genocide Corps of Iran as their enemy. It's really, really, really black and white. It's really, really simple. It's not
Well, I mean, I think it is more complicated. Despite what I believe or you believe, I think it's hard for everyone to get out of their kind of emotional sphere and actually just have a conversation. And I think, again, it's not about, the question wasn't, Paige, what do you think about this war? It was, why do you think Americans are against this war? And so, in order to be convincing, but one second, like in order for us to come together as Americans and have a conversation about it, we've got to take the emotion out of it and actually, hear the other perspective and meet someone somewhere. And I think, just yelling at people is not going to.
Democrats, leftists, they don't engage fairly. They don't engage
MJ was
honestly.
engaging fairly.
No,
You didn't like his points.
He made up.
No,
he didn't really have a point.
He wasn't responding to
He didn't have a point.
He made, and he was trying to use evidence that was A wasn't there, and second of all, was not evidence of the thing. And when I tried to walk him down that path, he kept going around in a circle. So I don't think he was being deceptive as intentionally lying.
I spoke with him many times. He's a Jew hater and an Israel hater, Pete.
I don't care, but he wasn't being honest.
I do.
And following the path of the conversation.
Then why do you share stages with other known Jew haters and shit like that?
Hold on a
decision.
second. Hold on. I reject, fully and thoroughly reject the idea or notion that I have any problems with Jewish people.
You're a Jew hater.
I grew up in an area.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
Strong Jewish community.
Doesn't mean anything.
Next-door neighbor.
Right,
I think it's one of the
Closest childhood friends I've ever had was of Jewish ancestry.
Nobody
I
cares.
attended more than 10 bar mitzvahs in my life.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
that doesn't
gonna
make you not a
I
Jew
have
hater.
never had an issue
everybody,
with the Jewish community.
stop.
That doesn't
Right.
make it
The
mean.
state of
Everyone-
Israel is not the Jewish community. The state
Yes,
of
Israel is the Jewish
is not-
community.
The state of
You
Israel.
don't speak for us, sir.
The state of
You
Israel
don't speak for
is
us,
a
sir.
Anyway.
sovereign
Everybody
You
stop.
don't
state
speak for
How do I
apparatus.
do this?
It is not a reflection
How do I mute? I can't mute
No,
everyone.
no,
Okay, so hold on. Everyone, Norm,
Judaism
hold on.
No.
or
I think you have to
No,
answer
Norm.
America.
Nobody's
Okay,
asking
thank
you
you.
to speak for Israel or Jews.
Okay,
You
I'm
have
just
to.
going
Nobody
to.
cares. You're
Norm, just
irrelevant to
give me
this
3
conversation.
seconds. Give me 3 seconds.
Go ahead.
I'm going to step
Go
up.
ahead.
It got too crazy. I don't like hurling accusations like that around. Nice chatting with all of you, and I hope
Thank you,
I
Kate.
hope it gets better. Okay.
You see what you did, Norman?
the idea that someone who has a problem with the way a state apparatus is conducting their
Sure,
foreign
you can do
policy
that. Many people
and their
do that.
domestic policy is a
Sure, many people do that. Do you accept the existence of a Jewish
is a
nation?
reflection of
Do you accept the existence of a Jewish
that
nation?
someone would have.
Do you accept the, listen, we're not here for your
Absolutely
soapbox.
ridiculous.
Do you accept the existence of a Jewish nation? MJ, they're not very good?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me hear you say it out of your mouth. No, I want to hear you say it. You accept Israel as the homeland of the, yeah.
Existence of
Not the
any
existence,
nation
no.
state.
No, the legitimacy of Israel as a Jewish homeland.
The legitimacy
Yes.
of the existence of
Yes.
any
Oh, not of
nation
Israel,
state
though.
if
There,
people
ladies and gentlemen, I
within
made my
that
point.
nation have
Ladies,
decided
okay, I made
to
my
be
point. I
sovereign.
get it. You don't accept Israel. Any nation, but not
I
Israel.
do not
got you.
believe the
It's
state
fine.
of Israel should not exist. I
I'm
believe
sorry?
the state of
Wait,
Israel
no, that
is
wasn't the
functioning
question,
improperly.
wasn't the
Okay, so
question.
And that,
That wasn't the question.
that's my problem.
That wasn't the question, MJ. If you don't understand the
Jewish
question,
people,
just let me know.
Judaism, or the
That
ethnic
wasn't
group
the
of
accept.
Jewish.
That wasn't the question, though, MJ. The question was, do you accept the legitimacy of Israel as the homeland of the Jewish people? And the answer is no, which makes you an anti-Semite. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Hold on, sir, you can't answer for
Yes.
me.
Yeah, I just did. Is it yes or no?
I think that
Yes
the
or
current
no?
state.
No, MJ.
Sir,
MJ.
I'm answering your
MJ.
question,
No,
sir.
you're not.
Oh, you
No,
don't
you're
want me
not.
to,
Okay.
you want to
The
speak for
answer
me?
is yes or no.
Because you're a racist white man.
Yes, I'm racist. The answer is yes or no. I'm racist because I don't want to let you hit the
You're
Jewish
racist
people.
because you can't allow a black man
Because
to speak his
wait
opinion on
a
your
second.
stage.
Is the answer yes? You
Well,
are
you
on my
wanna
stage and
speak-
you are speaking. Is
That's
it yes
your
or no?
racism
A
speaking.
black man.
Poking
You
out.
don't accept a black man speak. Yo,
Oh,
you
what
cannot
is that?
cover
What
your
was that
Jew
right
hate.
there,
You
Norm?
cannot cover your Jew hate.
Is that more
sir.
racism?
You. No, that was
Did
your
I give a
Jew
Jewish
hate, sir.
accent, Norm? Did I
That was
do
your
that to
Jew
you,
hate,
Norm?
sir. That was your Jew hate,
Your
sir.
racism is
So I'll
showing,
ask you
sir.
again. I'll ask you again.
And it
No,
always
your Jew
shows.
hate is showing.
That's what you
Your
are.
Jew hate is showing.
That's
Your
what
Jew
you
hate is
are.
showing, sir. I'm exposing
With that little
you.
black talk
I'm
that you did.
exposing you. It's all
That little
yes,
dot.
I know. No, you don't
Thought it was
accept
real
the
funny.
existence of the
I'm sure you
Jewish
do it
state.
around your
I
white
know. How
man.
many bar mitzvahs did you go to today, MJ?
White man.
How many
Go
bar
away. You
mitzvahs
do
did
it
you
all.
go to today, MJ?
Don't.
How many bar mitzvahs today, MJ?
You're racist.
I asked you a simple question.
You're a racist.
Did you not understand the question,
You're a
MJ?
racist white man.
Did you not understand the question, MJ? You Jew hater? MJ? If you
Real
didn't understand
Jews
it,
aren't
I'll
as
explain it
racist
to
as you.
you.
I don't even
Which
believe that
part
you're
of the
Jewish.
question did you not understand? I know you want to change the topic, don't you?
I don't
Did
think
I
you're Jewish.
expose you
I think you're
as
just a
the
white
Jew
man.
hater that you are? I made it really easy for you. Should I make it even easier? Should I make it easier, MJ? Do you accept the legitimacy of Israel as the homeland of the Jewish people? Yes or no?
I believe that
No.
the current state of Israel and the land
No,
that
no,
it
I didn't ask you
encompasses
that. I'm not asking
is,
you for a speech.
is,
I'm not asking you for a
sir,
speech.
I'm answering
I'm not
your
asking you
question.
for a speech.
Don't
This
speak
is
for
not
a black
speaking
man
time.
even though you're racist.
I'm not
Go
asking
on
you
when
for
you
a
ask the black
speech.
man a question.
The black
so we can
man, the
answer
black
what
man,
you
the
want.
black man, the black man. The black,
Do
the
the job
black man is not a
possible
part
doing
of the
5
question,
minutes
though.
ago, sir.
The black man is not part
Show
of the
your
question, though, is it?
racism again.
I'm not asking you for a speech, MJ. What's the answer to my? Do you accept as the homeland of the Jewish people?
Israel is a homeland to Jewish people, Muslim people, and all kinds
No,
of people
well,
that
that's not
are
the answer.
indigenous to
is
that
it?
area.
That's not the answer, is it?
Yes,
though?
it is. The answer to the
That's
question
not
is
the
yes. In
answer.
addition to the
No,
Muslims
okay.
and
How
other,
easy for you?
other
It's a yes
people
or
that
no.
are indigenous
It's a
to
yes
that
or
area,
no,
it is
MJ.
the,
It's a yes or
it is
no,
their homeland as
MJ.
well.
Did you not understand the question,
I said
MJ?
yes. I said
Say it again, I
yes.
don't hear it again. Yes. Okay,
I
let's
said
start
yes.
with
In
that.
addition
Good.
to
Now,
Muslims and other
hang
people
on,
that are
hang
currently
on,
being
MJ.
apart,
Hang on, MJ. Wait a second, MJ. I'm not
suffering from
asking for a
apartheid
speech.
in the
I'm
current
not
Israeli
asking
state.
for a speech, MJ. I'm not asking for your Jew hate to come out all at once. I want it to
No,
come
I
out a
love
little bit at
Jews.
a time.
I just don't
You
like
don't, no, I don't think you do, MJ.
hypocrite,
I don't think you do love Jews,
hypocrite racist
MJ.
white men
And
like
I'm going
you,
to
sir.
tell you why.
You're no
Because you
different
don't
than a
think the Jewish people deserve to have sovereignty in our homeland. So let me try you. Maybe I'm wrong. MJ, do you think the Jewish people deserve sovereignty in our homeland, Israel?
I believe that all indigenous people.
Yes
in
or
the
no,
land
MJ?
deserve sovereignty.
Yes or no, MJ? Yes or
I
no?
believe that all people that are indigenous to that land deserve sovereignty, including
Yes
Jewish
or
people.
so wait a second. So you don't believe that the Jewish people deserve sovereignty in our homeland?
I say
Or
I
you
believe all people in that area
So you
deserve
can't answer the
sovereignty,
question? I don't know why
including
it's all
the
people,
Jewish ones.
MJ.
Sir,
Yeah, MJ, why are you avoiding the question?
I
Is it
said
too
yes
hard
to
for
your
you?
question. I answered it thoroughly. You
Well,
have
no,
a
you
problem
didn't.
with the
Well,
way
you
that
say
I
all
answered it.
people.
And
Do you
now,
believe,
you're
is that like
saying
all
that-
lives matter, MJ? Was that one of your all lives matter type answers? Is that what you're trying to say, MJ?
No, all lives matter.
Or do you
is a
accept the
racist thing.
sovereignty? It's not all lives matter? Okay, so I'll try it again. Do you believe that the Jewish people deserve to have sovereignty in our homeland, the state of Israel, the eternal capital of which is Jerusalem? Do we deserve that sovereignty? Yes or no?
I don't believe that that area is only indigenous to Jewish people.
Nobody asked you that question. What about my question?
So
Did you not understand
that,
it?
that area is not only the homeland to Jewish
No,
people.
it doesn't mean that. Did you not understand my question?
I heard what you
Did you
said
want-
and I answered you, sir. That
No,
land
you
is not
didn't, though.
only
It was a
homeland
yes
for
or a
Jewish
no.
people.
No,
All that
ask
land
you
is a
again.
homeland for certain
I'm
Muslim
happy to
people
ask you
and
again.
certain Christian
I'm
people
happy
as
to
well.
ask you again.
No, man, you would have been a hell of a prosecutor, man. You know that?
No, he's terrible at it.
He's great at it.
That land is the homeland to Muslim people and Christian people.
That
and
wasn't the
Jewish people.
question, though, MJ.
That
So
is-
they're there.
And so all of those
That
people
wasn't
should
the
be sovereign
question,
in
though,
that land,
MJ.
sir.
So MJ, did you not
That's my
understand the
answer.
question? So you didn't understand the question?
That land is the
Yes.
homeland to Jewish people,
That wasn't the
Muslim
question,
people,
MJ.
and Christian
MJ,
people.
that wasn't the question, MJ, and you know it
And they
wasn't
all
the
deserve
question.
the same
So you're
right.
running away from the question, MJ. So you do not accept
Take my
Jewish
answer.
sovereignty in our homeland. Do you think
You're not the only people that land is homeland to. Sorry.
Nobody asked you that question.
Those people deserve
Nobody
the
asked you
same
that
right
question.
that you do.
Nobody asked you that question.
Well, I'm
MJ.
answering,
And the
sir.
reason why you're answering the question that nobody asked you is because you hate Jews.
I have no
MJ.
problem
And
with
we
Jews.
know it, and
I
you
just
know it.
believe
No,
that
it's
other
not
people
whether you have
deserve
a
the same
problem
right.
with them. You don't have a
Other
problem with
people
Jews because
deserve
they
the
don't
same
cause
right
you
that Jewish
problems,
people
MJ.
do. Just
What
like
you
here
do
in
not
America.
accept is the sovereignty
I don't
of
believe
Jewish
that
people
Christians
in our
deserve more
homeland.
rights
I
in
get it.
America than
I
anyone
get
else.
it. I get it. I get it.
I don't believe
MJ.
Jews and the
You're
people
gonna
of
have to
Israel
own it,
deserve more
MJ.
rights than
That's
anyone else.
totally fine. MJ, you understood the question. You refused to answer it. That's fine. But I'm just exposing it. That's all. Either we have sovereignty in our homeland or we don't. You don't accept it. That's anti-Semitic. You're holding us
Incorrect,
to a
sir.
different standard.
No,
No,
I
that is
believe you
correct.
deserve the rights
No,
in
that
your
is correct.
homeland, but I
Yes.
believe the others deserve the rights in that same homeland as well.
So in
they're
other words,
just
we
as
don't
indigenous
deserve
as you.
sovereignty. Well, why would other people deserve sovereignty in our homeland?
Because they're
What
just
if
as
it's not-
indigenous to that land as you are.
That's not the criterion, is it? Because they got
If
22
it's
acres
a
and
homeland,
all
that
of the
means you have
oil.
to do what they do.
Because they tried to kill us. This is why Nazis, for example, were not allowed to have sovereignty, MJ. This is why the Confederacy, MJ, was not allowed to have sovereignty. Are you starting to get my drift, MJ? Do you know why the Confederacy, even though they were indigenous, didn't get sovereignty in the South? Because they were Nazis, MJ. Because they wanted to enslave black folks. Is this starting to ring true for you a little bit? Are you starting to get the picture, MJ?
The Confederacy
You can't
the
just say
Confederacy
this.
is not a
All
religion,
lives
sir.
matter,
The
MJ.
Confederacy
All lives
is not a
matter.
religion, sir.
All lives matter. What does
Islam
religion
is a
have to do
religion,
with
and
it?
so is
What is
Christianity, sir.
Judaism is
There's a
not a
huge
religion,
difference.
MJ. Judaism is not a religion. Judaism is an identity and a nationality and a tribe and a people with a law and a land and a calendar and a cuisine and a founding document. Okay? And yes, the Jews have sovereignty in Israel. It's a tiny country, and Arabs and Muslims and Christians have sovereignty in many nations
They
in
don't
the
have
world.
the same rights.
They
In
have the same
Israel.
rights in Israel. I don't know. They don't have the same rights in other countries.
as Jewish people in Israel, sir.
They have the same rights as Jewish people in
They do
Israel.
not.
Yes, they do.
They don't have the right to return.
That they're not in Israel.
I thought you said they had the same rights.
If they're
I
not
thought
in
you said they
Israel,
had the same rights.
Yes, they have the same rights. What do you mean return?
They don't have the right
How
to
can they
return,
return?
sir.
How
They
can
don't
they
have the same
return if
rights.
they're already there? How can they return if they're there? If you don't make sense. It's stupid what you just said. If they're there, they have the same rights. If they're not there, how could they have the
If
same
they're
rights?
not there in
Yeah.
Israel,
Yes.
Jewish people have the right to return.
Yes,
While
Jewish
other
people outside of
do not
Israel.
not have the right to return.
That's not right within Israel.
That's
That's
not
right
the same right.
outside
That's
of
all I
Israel.
said.
That's
They
the
don't have the same
no.
right.
In
Not believe they
Israel.
have the same right.
In Israel. The same rights in Israel.
Yes, because
They
there are
have the
indigenous
same
people to that land that are Muslim, sir.
rights. What is that? Nobody says that they're not. They're there. They
And
have
so
the
those
same rights.
Muslim people should have the right to return, sir.
They're
because they're
outside of
indigenous.
Israel.
And
They're
just as
outside of
indigenous
Israel.
as Jews
Wait
in that
a second. Wait. Foreign policy is up to the country. You don't give rights to people outside of your country. Mexicans don't have the right to return to America. Right? Mexicans don't have the right to return
The
to
state of
Spain.
Israel
That's
has
what's
granted
that?
rights to
Yes.
people based on their religion, sir.
No, based on their identity as Jews, not religion. Now, Islam does distinguish between Muslims and non-Muslims. There are separate roads in Saudi Arabia, for example, in Mecca in particular, for Muslims and non-Muslims. So they do practice apartheid. And they did ethnically cleanse the Jews from their lands. There were plenty of Jews and Christians in all the Muslim lands. They've been ethnically cleansed. Yes. They've been the victims
Muslims
of
don't have the same rights
absolutely.
as Jewish people in Israel, sir.
I beg your pardon, what right don't they have?
The right to return.
Well, how can you return if you're already there in Israel? Explain.
I have, like saying, I feel like you guys are both repeating yourselves.
Well, I want to understand if MJ can explain to me how somebody in Israel would need to return. Explain that, MJ. How would you return if you're there?
If you're an
Respectfully,
indigenous
I actually agree.
person to that area,
You mean if you're
and
outside
you're
of Israel?
Muslim, you can have the same right to return as an indigenous person.
But they're not in Israel.
Jewish faith to that area, sir.
But they're not in
The
Israel.
fact that that's not the
That's
case
your
shows a
opinion.
religious discrimination.
No, sir. There's no
By the state of
religious
Israel.
discrimination in Israel. Israel is a homeland for the Jews, and the people who live there have equal rights. People outside of Israel are not governed by Israel, sir. Get it?
Your nation state is
Equal
showing
rights in
religious
Israel.
bias, sir.
There's no religious bias, sir.
Absolutely.
Israel is the homeland for the Jews. For example, you have the right to Senegal. I do not. French people have
What?
the right to return to France.
Who, that?
Yes, there are 7 African countries that will accept African Americans home.
So hold
I
on.
can't do
Are
it.
you saying that only Jewish people are indigenous to that land?
Never said it. You said it.
Okay, so those Muslims that are indigenous to that land don't have the right to return.
Well, where are they? Where are
They
these
don't have the
Muslims
right to
that-
return. It doesn't matter
Who?
where they are.
Who?
They don't
Well,
have the
so
right
you
to
don't. So
return.
you don't know.
Round
Okay.
three of the same
so you-
points.
Yeah. So you're not
I'm
claiming that
through with
people in
this
Israel.
guy. Shout out to my cousin Vinny.
So
You've
you're not
proven
claiming.
through
so
your
you're not-
own words that
Oh, boy,
Israel
you're just
showing
fucking-
racial
Shut up,
bias
okay.
in its
Vinny?
law. I mean, religious bias in its own law.
Did you
What
just-
do you mean by religious bias, sir? Israel is the homeland of the Jewish people. The other people who are there, who are not Jews, have equal rights, as you just shown.
Kevin, I just hit you on the back channel. He's gone, Norm. He's gone.
I see. I'm in favor of hummus, Joe, in the chat, and I'm not delusional, Leanne, in the chat.
Norm, I do have one question for you because
Okay, one question
Dis-
time.
despite our disagreements
About what?
about a whole host of things,
Well,
including
about what?
some of the details of Israel. I mean, I'm also coming at this from like
I
a
don't know what
Zion-
you're being very,
I'm-
you're being
I
very
know.
vague.
I'm being
But
a little bit vague.
don't characterize my position, please.
I'm not characterizing your
Characterize yours.
position. Okay, yeah.
So what do you did? So you said you disagree.
I was
on
just
what?
I'm that my point. What I was trying to explain was I also believe in like a Jewish state that is sovereign. Like I'm like a Zionist in this regard. I'm
Yeah.
just wondering where you draw the borders. Like sovereignty is obviously very heavily about borders. To you, what are the borders?
The borders are now what they have always been. The borders are wherever Israel draws them. Well, I'm not even sure I understand your question. So we have a border with Gaza, we have a border with Egypt, we have a border with Lebanon, we have a border with Jordan. What's your question?
So I was just saying if like,
You have a border with Syria.
what are your thoughts on like the settlement expansions? Are you like
Well,
for this or
well,
against this?
Well, so you're a little bit familiar with whatever laws or treaties govern. Are you talking about Judea and Samaria?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
like a
give me-
little bit familiar with like area like ABC. Like I'm a little bit familiar with that.
So what are you asking about? Area
I'm
A, B, or C?
asking if you think
So are you
it is
asking about
acceptable.
area A, B? Are you asking about area A, B, or C?
You know,
I'm
why don't you
asking-
just let him finish his question?
Well, he's very vague. He already asked the question and you landed,
I'm not.
and then I'm trying to make it more specific.
Yeah, I'll be more specific.
Good.
I would have to consult a map and see which
Okay,
area, but I
you
would
can do
say
that.
broadly the settlements that would be considered deeper into the like West Bank territory,
Very
deeper.
vague. A, B, or C?
Whichever is the farthest away from
No, you
Israel's
don't know.
borders. Yeah,
We share a border with the entire thing of Judea and Samaria. The whole, it's historical Israel. What is your question? So maybe you didn't know this. This area was controlled, it was captured by Jordan illegally in 1948 and occupied by Jordan. Did you know that, Kevin?
yes.
Okay. So at that time, whose territory was it when Jordan captured it?
In the 40s.
48.
In
No,
48.
1948.
In 48.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure whose
Okay.
it was. Was it because I know for a while it was under British mandate, and then before that it was controlled by the Ottomans.
Ottoman
So-
Empire. So there's no mention of the word Palestinian in any of those scenarios, is there?
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering. So, like, is your position that Israel could have
Is there?
sovereignty over? No.
Wait,
no.
wait. Is there any mention of something called Palestinian or Palestine in those two scenarios that you mentioned, the Ottoman Empire and the British Mandate? Is there ever a word called
I'm
Palestinian?
not really interested in the
Okay.
in like
Not what you're interested in.
in
is
that
there?
in that particular distinction.
Well,
I was just
Well,
asking
wait,
you.
wait,
Broad,
Kevin, before you change the topic, we're trying to build a fund of knowledge here. So if there is no mention of Palestinian, which is my contention, then when does it become Palestinian? Okay.
I'm wondering why you're shying away from the question I just asked you, which is how you feel about the
I'm
settlements.
not. I'm trying to build to it because you don't know where you don't know where you're talking about. I'm trying to teach you about where you're talking about. You can imagine this map in your mind. Okay. Now, if you want to mention a settlement, mention a settlement, and we'll discuss it if it's legitimate or not. Go ahead. Mention a settlement.
So you would
If you
agree
don't
that
know
some
of one,
you would agree that some are illegitimate then, or do you agree
I'm
that?
going to have to ask you what you're talking about, and I suspect you have no idea.
Wait. I feel like this should actually be like a fairly straightforward question of, do you believe that any of
Okay.
the settlements are illegitimate?
Give me an example.
I feel like
I love hearing Kevin's voice.
I feel like I shouldn't need to give an example for a question that's that easy to answer.
Okay. If you don't know, then if you don't know what you're talking about, I surely don't know what you're talking about.
My understanding is that you
Yeah.
have the main settlements that are
Okay.
like very large and well established that
Okay.
tend to be closer to Israel's broadly recognized borders, and then
Okay.
you have
I don't know what you
these
mean by
smaller.
broadly recognized borders. Judea and Samaria have never been a thing called quote unquote Palestine. There are Arabs living there. They were offered to make a state. They chose not to make a state. There was then a series of wars against terrorism that was coming from there. What's that, Anna?
Yeah, I said that's a fact. I don't remember reading
Yeah.
in the Bible any land being called out.
Well, there is none. So again, around the 60s or so, in conjunction with the Soviet Union, some Arabs thought that if they formed a state, they would be able to demolish the state of Israel.
It sounds like
But
your answer is
interesting.
there aren't any illegitimate settlements.
Well, it doesn't sound like that. You haven't given me an example of an illegitimate settlement. So I can't make a judgment based on something that you don't know what you're
I mean,
talking
you're clearly the expert on this topic. You clearly know.
about. I'm
all
not
of
an
it.
expert.
What?
I'm not an expert.
I'm just saying, like you're.
What?
He's
I mean, you're
coming.
that.
What?
Seems like a pretty straightforward question. Do you
Sure,
believe?
it's straightforward. Do you know what you're talking about? And if not, let's try to find out what you're talking about. That's a straightforward question. In your mind, is there some idea that something is illegal, Kevin? If so, what is it? Like, let's say you say, is murder illegal? Yes, murder is illegal.
Yeah. So I would. I'm less so talking about legality, and I
Okay,
think the concern that a lot of people have expressed
Yeah.
in regards to the settlements is that
Yeah.
they
Which
potentially. Once again, I do not know the names of them.
Okay,
but
why
I
don't
would
you
say
go
that-
find out? Or where are they? Go find out. If you really care about this, go and inform yourself.
No.
Okay.
What?
Why, that would be asking too much?
It's all it's about what he feels about it.
It's not what I mean, it would take me
It's
2
not-
seconds to find.
Okay, good.
I'm going on a.
Okay, I'll wait
just
for you here.
walking outside right now.
I will wait for you. Well, you can use your phone while you're walking.
Yeah, well, I
Probably
still don't
too
understand. I still don't understand why you can't answer the question.
Well,
Of
because I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean you don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't
you're
know what
aware.
you're talking about.
You're,
What
you're-
settlement is
you're,
illegal?
you're aware that you're. I didn't even say the word. Like, so it sounds like your
say-
position is that none of them are.
No,
I
it
mean,
doesn't
that's-
sound like that. No.
Well,
What it sounds like
so,
is I'm
so, wait,
asking
so
you
some
what
of
you're
them are.
talking
So
about.
some of them are.
Okay, so according
What, some of what are?
it's-
Some of what are what?
United States,
What's illegal?
in the United Nations, it says that there's 700,000 Israelis that are living illegally.
Right.
Agree with
I
that?
disagree with that.
You agree with that? Okay.
I disagree with the United Nations defining what is legal or illegal for Israel or the United States or any other country.
Okay.
I guess you're talking about a general resolution.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
So that's fine.
No,
Okay with you.
but name one thing that the United Nations has done.
Oh, I would say that the United Nations is a dumpster fire. But I'm trying to help.
Okay.
Point
Well,
here.
let's not quote dumpster fires then.
Again, he's talking about these settlements. Again.
He's not really talking about these settlements. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So Palestinians build settlements, Israel builds settlements. Are they legal or not? Give me an example and we can discuss it.
There is
Now,
a legal settlement. There's not.
Okay, well, that sounds like it's Norm's position, but for some reason,
No,
no, it doesn't sound like my position. That's Ann's position. Ann is a
Well, no, I'm
different
just,
person.
but then why don't you just, it was a very simple question of do you believe that any of the settlements are illegitimate or illegal?
They're all
Example,
Wait, why do I
There's
have to, why does that require an example?
because I don't know what you're talking about, neither do you.
You
We're
do know
going
what I'm
in
talking
circles
about.
now. I do not know what you're
You're
talking
clearly being
about.
like evasive here.
I'm not being evasive. I'd like to know what you're talking about. You said it would take you 2 seconds.
I don't understand why you can't answer the question. Like
I
truly,
get that you don't understand. I need
Like, why are you
clarification
unable
of your question. Which settlement is not
But I'm
legit?
I'm not asking that.
Oh.
I'm just asking a
what are
very
you
general
asking?
question. Like I'm gonna repeat
I
myself.
have to know
for the
what
fourth time.
settlement. Okay, I have to know which one you're talking
But
about.
you don't, in order to answer my question, you literally don't
Yeah.
need to know that. Because I'm asking
I-
you
I-
out of
I-
any of them. I'm asking you
I-
out of any of them.
I
If any
can't
of
speak
them
for,
are illegal.
I can't speak for all of them. Then
Do you
neither
think that
can
some
you.
of them might be? You think some of
I
them
don't,
might be illegal?
you'd have to tell me which one. And it sounds like you don't know. And that's fine.
You're not going to get.
So you're
Kevin,
accepting information on a
Kevin,
subject that you know
you're
very
not
little
gonna-
about. Huh?
Kevin, you're not going to get a straight answer out of him. Because
Why?
there's just no way it's
No,
gonna
he's
happen.
just not
Well,
going
well,
to get
because
pushed back.
what
No,
settlement
he's
is
trying to put
illegal?
him and back him into a corner, and Norm wants to address.
I'm not trying to back him into a corner. I'm just
No,
asking
but like,
him a
just
very.
give him an
trying to
example of
put
what he's
respect.
gonna do.
Well, Kevin, are you willing to
Kevin,
inform
you're
yourself
trying
so that you can ask a very
You're
straightforward
trying to
informed
win it,
question?
Kevin. You're trying to win an argument. I'm trying to play somewhat of a moderator here. Kevin, you're trying to win an argument, but you're not coming with
I'm
facts.
not even trying to win an
Okay.
argument. I'm just trying to
Okay,
ask him a
good.
question about his own position. I'm just
Correct.
trying to ask
But
him
then the
to
answer
clarify
to
his
your
own
question,
position.
But
the answer to your question
again, like
is based on the fact.
the reason I brought up names of settlements was like, or I was like, okay, I could Google search this shit really
What
quick.
settlement?
Like that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't fucking know. Like again, I'm trying to Google.
Okay, and neither does Kevin, and neither do people who say, oh, it's illegal settlement, it's illegal settlement. And
Well,
and
okay,
yeah,
but Norm,
Yeah.
we're not
Yeah.
talking about people. We're talking about Kevin. So don't say people.
well, he's echoing or parroting other people. Who
All right,
say it's
right.
illegal.
Anne has her opinion. You have your opinion. I have my opinion, and Kevin has his position. So Kevin is not people. We're not people.
Kevin doesn't have a position because he doesn't know. He's
All-
just asking
all I-
a question
yeah,
that
I
is
just asked him-
uninformed.
I just asked him a question about his
Right.
position.
Okay, and are you willing to learn more so that it can make more sense in your questions, Kevin, or not?
I don't understand what information is missing
No,
from
I
the
asked you a different
question.
question.
You
And
have
by the way,
to-
don't ask me to answer
I'm
your
not gonna
question.
give you-
can
you have
answer
to-
Because I'm not asking you about a specific settlement. I'm asking you just generally.
yeah.
If any of them
Yeah.
are, and it sounds like the position is no, but for some reason you don't want to
No,
say
it
it.
doesn't sound like that. It sounds
So your
like,
position is
I'm
yes,
I'm
some of them
telling you,
Some of them are, or some of them aren't. I know this is like a yes or no question about
okay,
your own position.
the
I don't-
answer to your question is, you will have to tell me which settlement you think is illegal.
But I'm not making a claim that any of them are legal. I'm not making
Okay,
that
great.
claim.
Okay, so you're not making that claim and I'm not making that claim. So come back when you have enough facts to make a claim.
Why are you this is so evasive. I think anybody.
It's not evasive, it's
absolutely
general.
evasive.
If you want to discuss the settlement, I'll discuss it with you, okay? And we can discuss if it's legal or not.
Norm, can you think of any settlements in Israel?
Yes, I've been to,
You've been to? Sorry, you cut out. You've been to what?
I said I've been to some of them.
You've been to some of them. Could you
Yeah.
name one or two of them off the top of your
I
head?
just did, Efrat and Tekoa.
Okay, you cut out, so I apologize. You cut out.
No
so
worries.
You cut out. Can you think
Good.
of any legitimate settlements in Israel?
I just named them. They're not, I mean, I don't know what you mean by legitimate. They're communities of Jews. Jews have every right to live there that everybody else does.
Can you
I
think
don't
of any?
believe in ethnic cleansing of Jews.
Cool. So the ones that you named, you would say that those are what you would call legitimate settlements, correct?
No, they're just communities of Jews. They're not even legitimate settlements or not. They're just communities of Jews living in Judea and Samaria, their historic homeland.
Fine, that's fair.
Can I ask?
I tend to agree. I would tend to agree with you that sure. I would. Okay, but can you think of any illegitimate settlements?
I've never heard of such a thing. What's an illegitimate settlement?
Exactly. So that's
okay.
Kevin, this is the point.
Okay, but I don't think Kevin has either.
Yeah, I mean, I think that. Well, I would probably. It seems like your position would be that Jews have the right to establish.
No, don't tell me what it seems like.
Anywhere.
I'm stating
Well,
my
you're just.
position.
I mean, you're not. You're
I'm
not
very
stating your
clear
position.
on what my position is, Kevin.
Okay, well then allow me to ask you: is this
Sure.
a fair representation of your position?
You better state that. Listen, when I use words, Kevin, I use them very carefully. So in order to state my position, you need to quote me, not make up some other story.
Okay, so tell me
I
if this is
agree with
accurate.
what Devin wrote in the chat, by the way.
Tell me if this is accurate.
Yeah.
Any community of Jews that exists within Judea and Samaria
No, I disagree with that.
legitimate.
I disagree with that. For example, there are no communities of Jews living in Area A. It's controlled by Palestinians. It is Jew-free. It is ethnically cleansed of Jews. There is apartheid in Area A. Jews are not allowed to live there, or they will be killed. That's Area A. There are Palestinians and Jews living in B and C.
Kevin, you're bad at fishing. You're just not good.
And both Palestinians, so-called Palestinians, or Palestinian Arabs, they're both building homes in both of those areas and in A. And by the way, sometimes they conform to the law, residential laws, and sometimes they don't. In terms of, are you allowed to build here? Is this building legal? Does it meet building code? The same way if somebody went to Central Park and built a house, the Parks Department and the Buildings Department and the police might say, you know what, this doesn't conform to the laws here. You can't build a thing here.
That's democracy.
Huh?
Yeah, you're right. That's democracy. Government by the people. You have to be a rule of law. It's all about. It's different from being a socialist. Democracy is. No one is above the law in democracy. In socialist, for instance, in socialist, for instance, everyone is together and we can do things together in conformity with one another. The government and the people share equal funds and equal rights. But in democracy, the government has a higher hand than the citizens, telling them what to do and what not to do. So they're all different kinds of government. They're all kinds of government.
I appreciate your contribution. I did not understand one word.
Democratic socialites, they are not delusional. I don't think they're delusional.
All right, thank you for your address. That's good. That was clear.
Oh, man.
Thanks for the invite, Adam. Norman, nice to see you. So, you do talk a lot about this topic, right? Where did you get your views from? And I guess here's a quick question just before you get into that one. You know, you identify
Hang
as
on, let me get into the first one so we don't have things hanging out in the ether there. I get my information and views from relentless immersion in these matters because I care about the United States and I care about our values and I care about our relationship with other nations. It comes from deep, passionate care.
awesome.
It's our
That's great. Great
passionate
answer. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Great answer.
Thank you.
So, well, do you know where hummus comes from? Because you didn't answer that question. You say you do things and then you don't. So that's a fact. We know that. But just answer. Do you know where hummus comes from?
I'm not sure.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then who makes the best hummus according to you?
Me.
Okay, fine, good. Okay, good answer. Thank you. Now let's get on to the important things. Okay, you don't know where hummus comes from, and you make the best hummus. We have that on the record. Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay. So, does your views have anything to do with you being, born Jewish in New York, or what do you think about that?
How would that be related?
You tell me. So you think there's no relation? There's no relation to you being.
I just don't know what's in your mind.
I'm just asking you. I mean,
I don't know.
You don't know. You've never thought about where you were born and how you were raised and how that's informing your own thoughts?
Well, it's like a fish. Does a fish think about water?
Do you think about moving to Israel? What do you think? Have you ever thought about that?
Sure. I go to Israel.
You think you might retire there, or
I'll
like go on a little kibbutz or something like that, or
a little kibbutz? I'll probably
or a big one. I'm sorry.
What I do now. Well, I'll probably continue to do what I do, which is go back and forth between New York and Israel and.
Oh, I didn't know you were a constant traveler to Israel.
Israel, France, Spain, Istanbul, Dubai, Singapore. Yeah.
Now, you have a preference for those, or I mean, you do a lot of traveling. Is it for work or pleasure, or what? Why are you going to Israel? Multiple reasons, or
business and pleasure.
Business and you. So, do you have a connection to the land of Israel, like since you're Jewish, or?
Well, every Jew does.
You may think that, but I don't think every Jew thinks that.
That's a fact.
Whoa! That's a big claim right there.
It's a very big.
You've never met a Jew that.
Hang on. There's two reasons why.
Okay, now they're cutting me off. This is a little weird.
Yeah, I am. There's two. I want to go one topic at a time. There's two reasons why every Jew has a connection to the land of Israel. Number one is God's law. That's in the Torah. And number two, it's man's law. That's in the Israeli law. Those are the two reasons why every Jew has
okay, fine. Can I talk? Okay, what about the Canaanites? What about the people that came before the Phoenicians?
There are no more Canaanites.
How do you know that?
Because there's no more Canaan. It's gone. There are no more.
So could that happen to Israel? Is that a possibility? Could that happen to Israel?
You mean in a gazillion years from now? Who knows? I can't predict.
Tell me, you seem to know a lot about the history of it. What were the biggest events in the history of Israel? If you had to name the top three biggest events in the history of Israel.
There are no more ancient Greeks. There are no more Byzantines. There are no more Phoenicians. There are no more Canaanites. There are no more Ithacans.
Could they not resurrect? Could they resurrect?
It's unlikely.
Oh, okay, but you're given a chance. I like that. Unlikely. It is unlikely. I agree it's unlikely. But it's not.
Right.
I mean, so yeah, what are the biggest events, the top three in the history of all written record in the Torah, in the Talmud, and all that, of all of Israel? Like, what are the top three things ever? Go. Just hit one of them. But go.
The reception of the Torah.
And did Moses got that on the mountain?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, then 2 and 3. Give me two more.
The formation of the temple.
Oh, baby, that's it. You're talking temple talk. I love it. Give me another one.
Yeah, thank you. And the modern state of Israel.
1960. 47? Was it 47?
48.
Oh, sorry, you're off. 48. All right, so let's talk. You brought up the temple. Norm, but I love it. I'm a big fan of the temple. Tell me about this. How many temples were there? Because there's a little dispute there. 2? Oh, some people say 3.
No, there's no dispute.
There's. Okay, whatever. I agree with you. I think there's only 2 main ones, but some people say there.
There's not only 2.
What happened? What happened with the first and second temples?
Well, they were destroyed by
Exactly.
empire.
Exactly. What do you think about the rebuilding of the third temple?
Well, that'll happen when Moshiach comes.
And you think third time's a charm?
I don't know what that means.
Well, I mean, if you look at the track record, the last 2 times it was destroyed.
By empires.
Yeah.
And?
That's what I'm saying. You think it's going to be different the third time? Third time's a charm.
I don't know what that means, third time is a charm. That's
it means it won't be destroyed the third time it's built. You think it's a good thing? Okay, are you for the rebuilding of the third temple? Are you for... Sorry, I want to be clear. I'll rephrase my question.
For the record, and I want to state this for the room, I'm not God and I'm not a prophet. I don't see the...
That's a weird thing to state. Do you think people really think you're God, Norm?
No, but you...
Do you think people need to know that? Do you think people need to know that?
You asked
That's really weird.
You asked me to project the future. I can't do that. Those are godly attributes.
So you're trying to show humility. I'm sorry, I mistook that.
No, I'm not trying to show humility. I'm saying I can't predict the future. But
we're talking about 2 historical events, which were the building of 2 temples, and you noted that that's like massively important in all of the history of all of Israel.
Of course.
And so I ask you this simple question: are you for or against the rebuilding of the third temple, or you can, I guess, give some third option?
Yeah, the rest is up to him.
So that I'm going to take that as a yes. You're for it.
No, I'm for Messiah. The rest is up to him.
Oh, snap. You trying to throw that new... What about you, Scotty? Scotty, you a local East Coast Jewish guy, too?
I'm trying to throw, Joe.
Who's... No, I think I dealt enough with Yale, Norma. I think I got what I came for. I got what I came for.
You call El Norma the Great One.
You call him the Great One. The Great One. So, are you a big defender of Israel and a believer in the coming of Mashiach, too, Scott?
No.
I'm a Christian and I'm a big supporter of Israel, yes.
Oh, wait, you're a Christian?
Wait. Yeah, he's a Christian. And he wants to...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Don't you want the Messiah to come?
I'm dying for the Messiah to come back. I think.
Is he a Messianic Jew or is he Christian?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm just a normal Christian.
He's a Christian minister. He's an actual ordained minister.
What do you think about the third temple, Scott? What do you think? Do you think they should rebuild the third temple? Is that good for Christian? From a minister perspective?
I'm not a dispensationalist. I'm not a dispensationalist. I'm not. I don't think that. That's like a group of evangelical Christians. The movement started in like the 19th century. They think that there's a complex end times formula, and that if the Jews get the temple built and a certain sort of array of things happen, like these things have to happen for Christ to come back. I don't put any. I'm not one of those kinds of Christians, but I am a strong supporter of Israel. Yes.
It's a good thing that New Jerusalem is going to be located in Independence, Missouri.
But Florida, don't they have a ton of Jerusalems all over the world?
The Ark and everything else that's there with the Ken Ham. Oh, wow, Fabio says, in other words, I'm a cuckold because I support Israel. I support liberal democracies. I support religious freedom. I support gay rights. I support
You're sticking your neck out now.
I support nation states that support these things.
Well, who do you think's doing a better job with that, Scott? Like, or who, I mean, is Israel doing a better job, or America, or is there another country?
I think in the region, Israel is unparalleled on those things. Unparalleled. I think it's a Western liberal democracy.
I'm not a minister, but I'm also a Christian, and I would agree with that as well.
You're a Christian, Ben? I didn't know. I thought you were Anthony Bourdain.
I'm not Anthony Bourdain. No, I'm a Christian. But I am not a minister. But I am also in favor of the nation of Israel's existence. So.
Baruch Hashem.
I'm also in favor of liberal democracies.
Baruch Hashem. But I want to have a little tiny sliver of a bone to pick with you that you say you're not going to get a straight answer out of him. I can't give a straight answer to a crooked question. So if you ask me if I support, I don't support everything that anybody does.
What I said speaks for itself. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, and I'm responding to you.
Okay.
I can't give a straight answer to a crooked question. Do I believe that everything that everybody does is legitimate or illegal? No, of course not. People make mistakes. People are flawed.
Do you guys think that Israel's been doing a good job overall? Like, Okay, so well, Norm just said yes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
The GDP has quadrupled in the past 20 years or so. They afford equal rights to all people in Israel. When they wage war, they do their best to minimize civilian casualties. I think in some ways they do better than any other military has ever done in the history of militaries. So we do a good job at defending ourselves and also yet trying to maintain humanitarian standards.
Do you see a clear path forward that, I mean, could they wrap this up and get it over with in a couple of years, or?
Wrap what up?
Whatever's, okay, so there is war and there's a lot of death and destruction going on, right? To start with that.
There's always war in the world.
What? Yeah, but not
there's always war in the world. Why, that's news?
Has any of this stuff stopped your visitation to Israel where you're like, hey, maybe I'm not going to fly there?
No, definitely not. In fact, the Houthis sent me a
I don't know if I believe that one. Wow.
Totally true. The Jews just keep going.
Didn't a bunch of Jewish people leave Israel? Hasn't there been a mass exodus?
We allowed women and children to leave when we were actually getting bombed, but then a lot of men went over there to help the war effort. And a lot of women are helping the war effort too, frankly. So, for example, if you're having a wedding...
Do you think that this war was some type of divine intervention? Because you did...
Stop interrupting me. Listen to my answer, and then you can ask the question based on the answer. So if we're having a wedding or a bar mitzvah or a birthday party or an engagement and a missile comes, we'll just go downstairs and continue the party. And when I was there, for example... Say what?
Oh, I thought you were finished, but keep going. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. So when I was there and the Houthis sent me a present, I was even unaware that it came, and I sort of saw it when I drove by on my way to the airport. It didn't stop me even for a minute, nor did it delay flights for even... It didn't even delay flights 15 minutes. And when I was messing around with my ticket, my luggage and everything, the people from the gate came and found me in the counter and said, we're looking for you. Come on, get on the plane. We'll hold the plane for you. And I got on the plane. It was El Al. And we took off. It wasn't even delayed 1 minute, even though the Houthis had landed a missile in an open field near Ben Gurion, right next to...
You do seem to be rambling a bit, though.
No, I'm answering your question about...
But don't you think that was sufficient, or you need to keep going?
So, you didn't believe me. You didn't believe
me. No, I didn't. You don't know. Dude, I'm just having a conversation. What are you talking? I didn't believe you.
You expressed skepticism, so I assume that means you didn't believe me. I mean, I'm listening.
Okay, I just wanted to move the conversation forward a little bit, and I thought...
Okay, but when you
express
skepticism, I'm going to provide you with facts.
No, but also, okay, I'm satiated. You've satiated me.
Well, I mean, not everybody has the same appetite for facts that I do.
Right, exactly.
Analysis. Hard to blame you for that. Right.
Okay, I'm trying to, so I'm getting schooled. I'm learning that you think that Israel has done an excellent job so far with this conflict, and that
well, we're winning.
Now, do you feel that there's any divine intervention?
Hang on, wait, Joe. We're winning, right? Isn't that the job?
What do you mean we?
Yeah,
I'm not an Israeli citizen.
We. I beg your pardon. I'm not.
Then who's we?
We is the Jews.
Well, the Jews isn't Israel.
Well,
for you to say that the Jews is equivalent to Israel is exactly the kind of conflation that leads people to
Florida, we don't want to. If we upset Norman, then he'll probably get.
I'm not upset. We, the Jews, are winning. Israel's the Jewish nation.
Do you feel that there was some divine intervention, that this war was, that God was involved with this in some way?
I see God's hand in all of man's affairs. All of them.
So what about when he destroyed the first and second temples?
I see God's hand in all of man's
does that bother, do you think that was justified and it was okay? And I'd love to hear the Reverend's opinion. I don't know, is it Reverend Scott or Minister? He's a Christian, I don't know what type of Christian.
I don't argue with God.
Okay, cool. So if the third temple, because you brought up the temple, that's on the record, and I love you that you did that. I love you, Norm, that you did that. I love you. Thank you for bringing up the temple.
So wait. You said I brought it up. You said what was significant events?
I said the most significant events ever, and you brought up the temple. Thank you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay, but you said I brought it up as though it was something that you didn't bring up. Well,
I mean, you could have brought up anything. I gave you an open thousands of years of history, and you brought up the temple, and I love you. Thank you so much for that.
I love you.
I agree with you. I agree. We are in agreement on that. Deep agreement.
But wait, what would be another contender?
I don't really care. I'm just,
You don't
unfortunately.
care or you don't know. I think.
No. I mean, no. I mean, like, I'm not the one teaching here. You're the teacher, Norm. You're the teacher.
That. But what would be another contender?
For most significant
Yes.
Israeli.
Yes. The Battle of Masada, very significant.
No, I think the temple summit. I mean, I think the temple history is it, and I think.
Try to stop interrupting me. The Battle of Masada.
I'm not. That's a little dinky battle. That's a dinky battle.
No, the battle.
You guys think you're warriors? You think you're warriors? I mean, oh my God, come on, man.
Do I think we're warriors?
Oh snap! Oh snap!
Warriors.
You are the strongest military in the world.
I never
Jewish
said that.
military.
I never said that.
No, I was messing with you. I'm sorry. I'm serious as a joke. I'm sorry.
So yes, I think the War of Independence. I mentioned that, right? So we can also.
I mean, you're shifting the topic, but it's fine. It's.
I'm not shifting the topic. The topic.
You don't want to talk about the third temple. I get it.
Wait a second. We talked about it. I'll talk about it again. You were also talking about significant events. We talked about that. That's not shifting the topic. These are things you brought up, not me.
Are you a supporter? Like, do you send funds to the third temple?
Yeah.
And how about your Scott? What about you? Do you support the rebuilding of the third temple?
Joe. This is not a one-way thing. How do you send funds to something that doesn't exist?
Because they have the organizations like thirdtemple.com or whatever.
Okay, so I ask you again. How do you send funds to something that doesn't exist?
Preparations. You're building a building. You got to get all the permits in place. You got to get all the.
Wait a second. Wait, I'm confused now. I said Moshiach would build it. So you're saying? Are you asking if I'm sending money to Moshiach?
I don't think you. Okay, this isn't on replay, so I can't. Exactly what you said, but you.
Okay.
I don't remember. You said so you think it's gonna? You're one of those Jewish people that think it's gonna just fall out of the sky, preformed, and just land there. Is that what you're saying?
I told you what I said.
You said Mashiach is gonna build it.
That's right.
So Mashiach is.
So when I say Mashiach is gonna build it, does that mean fall out of the sky?
Well, a lot of your friends, your Jewish people friends, think that.
Wait, it's a yes or no question.
Again, I'm the student. You're the teacher, Norm.
I understand. So yes or no. Does Moshiach is going to build it mean falling out of the sky?
I mean, reasonably speaking, it could. Can you explain how else
Moshiach
would build it?
Okay, so if I say Harvey's going to build it, does that mean it's going to fall out of the sky? Does that mean
no, Harvey can't make it fall out of the sky, but Mashiach technically could.
According
to some of your Jewish friends, talk to me.
What Jewish friend is that? What Jewish friend is that?
What kind of Jew are you, El Norma? What kind of Jew are you? The bagel and lox kind? The bagel and lox kind?
What kind of goy are you?
I don't know. I mean, that's...
You don't know what you are? Okay, I'll do it. You don't know what you are.
I'm the student. I'm trying to learn.
Maybe just ask him, how is it going to get built?
Maybe I'll be just like you.
Just tell the answer. Norm, how is it going to get built? If it doesn't fall out of the sky, how else?
Yeah. How do you build anything?
How will Mashiach build it if Mashiach isn't a person?
I don't know. The answer is...
All right, we stumped Norm. That's a point. We won, Florida. We did stump Norm. He does not have the answer.
No, I don't have the answer, period.
Thank you. Great. Awesome.
I'm not a prophet, as I said before. I'm not God and I'm not a prophet. And I'm not
I don't think you need to keep restating that. That's hilarious.
Well, you asked me what Mashiach is going to do.
Oh my God. That's funny. I'd love to hear the Reverend's opinion on this matter, as he is a trained theologian.
He is.
Reverend, please. Please.
I don't really think about the rebuilding of the temple a lot. It doesn't occupy my theological imagination a lot.
So what does?
I don't know. Grace, the concept of grace. I think right now I'm thinking a lot about Luther's relationship to Hegel. I think a lot about just wrote a really good book on Hegel and contradiction. And
Is it fair to say that you think Luther and Hegel can rebuild the third temple?
Exactly. Hegel could not have rebuilt it. I don't think he knew. He knew a lot of shit, but he couldn't do it anyway.
Aren't you saying that Karl Marx is going to rebuild the third temple? Aren't you saying that? Didn't I just hear you say that?
Well, I mean, when no proposal is given for how the temple is going to get built, but rather just like the
No,
fact that
there's not.
Mashiach
Florida,
is just
go
going to
to
do it.
thirdtemple.com, man.
It's just gonna. It's not gonna fall out of the sky, Joe. One day we're just as mere mortals. We from our limited three-dimensional space, we're just gonna see bricks and stones and dumpster trucks moving in place by themselves.
Wait, so Florida, you're saying there's
and we're just gonna see a
100%
temple
chance.
being built before our very eyes.
Florida,
And it's gonna be a wonder. It's gonna be grace.
One
It's
at a
gonna be
time, guys.
magical. Mashiach is gonna be doing it the entire time.
Florida? Is that your position?
This is my proposal that this is your position. But if it's not your position, then I just would like to rephrase.
No, it's not my position, and I think it's kind of dumb to misstate my position so grossly.
How
Try
do
to get
you
it right.
suppose Mashiach is going to build the third
I
temple?
don't know.
He said he doesn't know. Norm made that clear.
I
So
don't
you
know.
just think he's going to do it, but have no proposal or
I think Norm.
expectation as to how it's going to be done.
It's going to get
Okay, I'll
politically
repeat what I
done.
said a moment ago. I'm neither a prophet nor God. But since
You're a fool,
the-
is what you are.
No, I'm not.
You
a
can, I
fool.
mean, you
Why
can
am I a
continue
fool?
asking me the question or whatever.
Why am I a fool?
Like, look, I can disagree with Norman on a lot of his positions, Florida, but he's answered your question.
Ben, it's a
Do you
foolish
disagree with me on
claim.
lot of positions, then?
I don't care. I don't care if it's a foolish claim. He answered your question. You keep
I don't
asking
have a claim.
what the answer. Would you ask him how is the temple going to get rebuilt, and he said he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry, guys, can I ask El Normo, in all of his wisdom and knowledge, does he
I
know
don't have
Jesus?
wisdom and knowledge.
And again, Florida, I may agree or disagree. I'm just trying to move the conversation forward. He answered your question.
El Normo, thank you, Ben, do you know what Jesus thinks about the third temple, what his thoughts are?
Do I know
No
what
clue.
Jesus thinks of the third temple? I'm not well
No
read.
clue. I thought he was answering me. The answer is I haven't got a clue.
Well,
Okay.
Reverend Scott, our minister, our spiritual
Maybe
expert.
Jesus believes that all of Christianity is the third temple.
I don't know what I do not know what Jesus thinks of the third temple. Joe, sorry.
I know a lot of people like Jesus.
Leanne said you might want to remove, quote, the great one from your profile, but you're like a comedian too, right?
Norm is the great
So
one.
was that a
I call
joke?
Norm the great one.
No, that's Scott made that for me.
He's a comedian by blood.
It's meant to be self-ironic.
That was good, Florida.
Thank
Norm
you.
is my marker.
That's good. That was good. I like that. That was good.
Did you get it, Norm? Because you're Jewish. Us Jews, we're funny. It's just in our blood.
Hang on, who asked me that?
It's Florida. He made a joke. It was
Florida's antagonistic. I'm not sure I accept the things that come from Florida.
Spoken from the most antagonistic man on.
Hey, I represent that remark.
So you're ranking Israel's recent, past couple years in this conflict as a 10 out of 10. You have no criticism on them
I never
whatsoever?
said that. Why do you?
No, I'm asking the question. So,
Okay, try again. Try again.
It sounded like you were ranking them as like
No,
they're
it
doing a
didn't
bang
sound
up,
that way.
awesome job.
Yes,
No,
it
it
did.
didn't sound. No, it didn't sound that way.
Sounded like that.
What the fuck? Yeah, there you go. Thank you,
It
Ben.
doesn't sound that
All right,
way.
so what could they improve on? What did they do wrong?
We could move quicker.
I actually do agree with that. Wholeheartedly.
So is it possible, like that's
Quick,
what?
quick.
Where is the conclusion to this? Do you think it's possible in a
The
year?
conclusion to
Could
what?
have just gone in and done the dirty work and gotten this thing over
Well,
with.
Gaza's done, right? Gaza's pretty much over, right?
They should
What does that mean, guys?
It's not done.
I mean, it's like 80 or 90% fucking rubble, right?
Oh, I don't think so.
I'll do a quick Google search.
The only reason it's guys, stop. The only reason it's over right now, and I'm sure Norm can back me up on this, is because FIFA has not laid the foundation for the new soccer fields that are going to go up all.
There you go.
I don't know a lot about soccer, although I did watch it.
Norm, I think if Israel had gone fast and broken things in the beginning after October 7th, I think they would be in the situation that you're in right now. Like I
No,
don't.
but it tries to be humanitarian.
Oh no, I get that. So
Like
I think people
I
wanted
think they had a blank check for about 2 weeks. It does level the whole thing. But of course we would have.
But wait, Elmore, do you dispute this? It's a Google search. It says over 80% of buildings are partially damaged or completely destroyed in Gaza.
Partially. So, I mean, what's the source?
It's just a regular Google search. Nothing. There's.
So what's the source of the?
But I've done this many. I mean, okay. What do you think the extent of damage is? But then you appear to know more than me. You're the teacher. I'm the student. How bad did Gaza get destroyed?
I'm not going to take a lot of questions if you don't answer any of them.
Joe, respectfully, like you gotta come with better sources than that, dude. It's just it's not good.
I thought that was a reason. Where do you want me to get the source from?
Where's Google has the source? What's the source attached to your Google?
Correct.
Look at the end of it. At the end of it, in little type, it says what the source is.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Well, then you need to go a little deeper.
Then don't cite it as a source.
I'll try to go to Israel. I'll see what Israel says.
But why don't you just look at an actual source?
What website is a good website that I can use for this? This is a basic question.
AI. At the end of the AI answer, you'll see a little type, and it'll tell you what the sources are. I can't believe I have to teach you how to use your phone. I'm supposed to be a boomer. Although I'm not.